Hi, Barbara Leffler, 1704 Prosser Hollow Road, town of Davenport. I'm a major landowner in that region. I have 140 acres that will be split asunder right down the middle. The most usable part of my land will be destroyed from heavy equipment going in. There'll be blasting, which will impact my neighbors. They're very concerned about their water, and they asked me what will happen. I said, I don't know what will happen. I just know that trucks will have to go up there. I also have an area very close to the line where my husband's ashes are interred. A gazebo sits on top of it, and he spent 40 years of his life in heavy construction, and I can't envision heavy equipment driving over his final resting place. This is the place of his dreams, and he didn't live to come here. He died just months before we were going to retire up here after 30 years of working in the cold and everything else. And he told me, we don't own the land. Our job is to take care of the land for the next people that come along. And if our land is destroyed by this is a desecration across the land that is not necessary for any of us to live. There's nobody in this room wrote a letter and said, we're desperate for natural gas. And the way it's presented to us, it's passing through. Just coming from Pennsylvania. I also have property in Pennsylvania, and I'm very familiar with some of the issues that go on there. I don't think there's a person in here that wants to go live in Dimmock, Pennsylvania. Is there somebody who wants to live in Dimmock?
No.
I certainly would.
I have talked to people who used to live in Dimmock, and they said they lived in a trailer, and they could no longer live there anymore because the price, because of the pipeline and all the workers that were coming in from elsewhere, and not employing any of their people, they had to move because they couldn't pay the new rent. So I just want to get back to the environmental. Our 140 acres has always been having the hay cut by neighbors and us too. It had an economic impact on me this year because I was going to reintroduce beef cattle. I went to a meeting at Otsego, and the demand in the city areas for grass-fed beef, which we can supply easily, was very high and could be very profitable to bring farming back into this area. I had to cancel my order for the beef cattle because I'm not going to make an investment in fencing that's going to be ripped out of my prime pasture area. So when they say it's only going to be a good impact, I don't see a good impact. I see a bad impact. I had a friend that wanted to come up and retire up here. When she saw all the things that I had spread on my table, she said, you know what, I don't think I want to do this. I'm not going to invest in any land up here. This is kind of scary. So the economic impact is already, it's not snowballing, but it's there. I know somebody that said, no, I'm not going to go buy a new washing machine. Maybe I'm selling my house and I'm leaving. So all these little things are going on in people's lives. It has, from the day that letter came, I never swooned, even when they told me I had cancer. I didn't swoon. But when I saw that map with my property split down the middle, after all the work that my husband put into it, I did. I had to sit down. I couldn't stand up anymore. So I just hope you'll take that into consideration. I had 30 years of my life. I drove a school bus for 30 years so that I could keep this place. And I made a decision after my husband passed that I would come up here and take care of this land. And I intend to continue taking care of this land.